But before all that, I ask you, have you been working for several years with no tangible assets to show for it? Well, my first guest, Tomie Balogun, was in that same place 4 years ago, until she took the bull by the horns and turned her life around. In 2013, Tomie co-founded an investment club with 4 friends, which grew her wealth exponentially through investments in fixed income, stocks, and 4 startups. With incredible results in little to no time, Tomie is now on a mission to help young working professionals take advantage of the power of many to create their own wealth. Through her investment education company, TrackTed Limited, she teaches the framework on how to start, manage, and grow investment clubs in Africa. This certified financial education instructor has trained 400 young millennials, resulting in the creation of 11 investment clubs. Wow! Welcome to the morning show, Tomie.
Thank you so much.
My
Thank you for having
goodness,
me.
all those accolades, and you seem really young.
Oh, okay. If you say so.
I won't embarrass you by asking you to tell us your age, or embarrass myself, actually.
All right.
Now, let's start by you explaining to us exactly what is an investment club.
Oh, so an investment club really is you taking advantage of the power of many. So this means is you just have a group of people come together to pool their resources and then invest in opportunities that they find in different industries and countries as well.
Okay. So what's the difference between an investment club and, let's say, a pool collection in an office?
Oh, yeah, that's really common, really common. And I've done that as well before. But the only difference is, while in the common pool, you just take your money back after a cycle. But with an investment club, you actually invest, right? And you're not losing value. So you're taking that money, you're investing it in an opportunity so that you can earn interest from it or income from it as well. So it's very different from the normal savings schemes that you find in offices, yeah.
And how does one get educated in investments portfolios? So, for example, myself as a layperson who doesn't understand stocks or bonds or whatever, how would you educate me?
Okay, so I started out this way as well with absolutely no clue, right? And we actually made the mistake of thinking all we needed was money and then we would just start investing. But when we started to lose money, we knew that, okay, we had to go back and learn how investment works.
Right.
So, which is one of the things I decided to do, and my other, founders as well. We decided to go study, sit down with experts. I also got my certification on this journey as well. So this is what I'm doing. I'm helping other people. I'm making it much easier for other people. So I put together a framework, and that framework would help you and take you through the process of understanding what exactly you're getting into, because it's not for the faint-hearted at all.
Well, you know what they say, money matter, not serious matter.
Serious one, very serious.
Now, you actually started on this journey because of your inability to pay for your MBA. Talk to me about that experience. What was that like for you?
Well, it wasn't an inability. It was just a case of me getting enrolled for the MBA, getting accepted, and then reality just hit that I didn't have so much money, right? Yeah. After you pay the first year after I paid my first year of my MBA fees, I realized that I didn't have anything left in terms of net worth. So, that really got me thinking that I've been working for 4 years, and I had not done anything good with the money. All I'd done really well was spend. And I find I find
shopping.
Oh yeah, shopping. I mean, you always want to look good, dressing, shoes. But really, there's a place for that. But you just need to think about, the future and financial freedom, because you just find that it's very easy to work all your life and then come to the end of your life with nothing. So I think that point for me was an eureka moment.
Wow.
And I thought things had to change from that point on.
What is your perspective on investment in Africa, or amongst Black people in general? Because we have a lower rate of investment and education on finances just in general.
Absolutely.
Why is that the case?
I think, first of all, Africa contributes just 2% to the global wealth, right? So we're really low in terms of our contribution to global wealth. And thankfully
we're not counting all the aid that they steal, but that's another topic for a different day.
Yeah. So I think, like you said, it's a case of financial literacy, right? And also a case of the economy. A lot of times, a lot of people are just focused on taking care of themselves, just getting through on a daily basis. The average Nigerian probably earns less than $2 a day. Yeah. So there's really a place for also growing the economy. And as we grow, the middle class grows. And then I guess we have more money to invest. So this is a case of we coming in to say, how can we invest in some particular industries, enable growth in those industries, and then we'll see more middle class people growing. And then we do have, as the economy grows, as people grow, you do have more money to invest, and that's how the country and Africa will grow as a whole as well.
So what sort of assets does your investment club invest in?
Okay, so we started out with a stock portfolio.
Okay.
And then fixed income securities. And then we started to invest in small businesses as well. You know, very risky, but for us, it was the case of we wanted to contribute to the African story. So we've invested in 3 industries: agriculture, transportation, and e-commerce as well. Yeah.
So you mentioned investment in small businesses and the fact that it's quite risky. What are the returns on investing in an SME?
Oh yeah, so it's really long term. When you get into an SME, you don't think about returns. You don't really think about returns, but you first of all, before you make your choice or decide what to invest in, you have to pick a small business that has scale, right? A business that is more likely to grow. So I say follow the money, right? Look at where the money is likely to go. And then small businesses go through a lot in Nigeria, or let's say in Africa as a whole, because growing a small business is such a big deal. So you really have to partner with them, right? And you shouldn't be focused on getting your money out as soon as possible, because you really want them to grow sustainably. Because as an investor, if you're so focused on getting your money out immediately you can, then that business might probably not be so well off, right? So we're focused on long-term growth, knowing that in the next 10, 15 years, that company should grow into something big. I mean, if you look at stories from Silicon Valley, for instance, you find that a lot of people started investing in Apple when it was in the garage, right? And then it took 20 years.
When the stocks were worth like 9 cents.
Yeah, it took 20 to 30 years before it became the most valuable company in the world. So it does take time, and we've had to learn that, and we're fine. We're ready to partner with them. We're not just investors.
So how do you know, let's say, again, I represent the everyman, the layman, because I actually don't know much about stocks or financial literacy. I'm not that literate in finances. But let's say we were looking at a small business. How could I be confident enough to invest my money in a business I don't know that much about? How could I be assured that I'll get returns to scale?
First thing is the management team. Who's managing the business?
Right.
I think that we've had to learn that because we made mistakes and we lost money. And trust me, mistakes always teach you the best, right? So who is managing the company? What's the integrity of that person? Is that person very passionate about that business? Is that person willing to learn how to grow that business? That is very important. And I would take that over any other thing, right? The next thing would be scale, growth prospects of that business. Is it solving a problem? Is it meeting a key? Is it bridging a gap, right? It's not just any random business. It has to be something that is solving a key problem in the economy. Once that, I think those 2 points are really important for me and my club as well.
Isn't that interesting? You say that it has to fill a need, which makes complete sense to me. But if you look at something like Apple when it started, it was just another computer company. Okay. So what made them so special over, any other computer company?
I actually think they actually feel the need, right? Because we had Microsoft and then we had Apple. I think Apple was for the creative, the underdog. They wanted to do something different. Because if you look at the regular Mac, I mean, think about the people that use the Mac laptop. They're very different. They want to use something that is design focused. So Microsoft was very operational, basic use, but Apple was designed for the creative that is very focused on how things look and how things work. So I think they actually filled a gap. Maybe not in the way we would expect in Africa, because there are some clear gaps in Africa. For instance, we can't even feed ourselves. That's a huge problem. So I think as economies grow, problems also, evolve, and people also evolve with their needs. So I think Apple solved that problem.
I love that. And you really put it in a different perspective for me, because I was thinking, computer company A, computer company B. But actually, that makes complete sense.
Well, yeah.
So tell me about the benefits in investing or with an investment club, as opposed to one's own personal investments.
Okay, the first thing is you have more money. So
that's always
your money can only do so much. But if you pool resources with other people, you can do a lot more. And the second thing is you actually spread your risks. So if you decide to invest by yourself, you're taking all the risk on by yourself. But when you spread the risk with other people, you're spreading the risk and you also share the rewards. I think it's actually a bigger in terms of reward to share as well. And then I think for me especially, it held me accountable. So I look back over the 4+ years that we've had this investment club. I don't think I would have continued for this long on my own. So the fact that I was committed with a group of people kept me accountable all through the process. So I made investment a bill. I knew that on a monthly basis, I had to move money into a particular account because we had to invest, right? So it makes you accountable, basically. I think those are the key things.
So for anyone that's watching that is asking a question in their mind, which I'm asking myself, what is the difference between this and a pyramid scheme, let's say?
And a what?
And a pyramid scheme.
Oh, yeah. So pyramid schemes, yes. Get rich quick. I mean, everybody wants to get rich like really, really, but investment clubs are not pyramid schemes because one, you're just taking money from yourselves, contributing money from with yourselves. You're not taking money from external parties. We don't do that, right? and then you're actually making decisions yourself. Most pyramid schemes are just bring the money and I'll give you back 50%. Like, and I always feel that you have to know,
so
because
first of all, still falls for that in 2017.
I know, but I think the fact that there are a lot of people that are, under the poverty level in Nigeria and Africa makes us really focused on getting it, and I totally understand that. But we just need to focus on creating value and seeing how we can use our money for something better, So we just want to get that money quickly, but sometimes that's not the way life works.
Absolutely. Get rich quick and, well, I won't finish the end
and
of
lose
that.
the money quick as well.
Now, you're on a mission to spread the importance of investment clubs in person and also via your online courses. Walk me through some of those online courses that you offer.
So I have this free course. It's like a free, the beginner's guide to investing course on my website. And over time, I think over 320 people have signed up, and I get a lot of good feedback. People say that, oh, this has really opened my eyes to what investing is, how exactly I need to prepare for investing, because investing, first of all, should be long-term. It's not short-term, and it's not a random thing you do. You have to have a plan, and then stage of life is important. When you're young, the kind of investment decisions you make are very different from when you're starting a family. Right. I had to learn that, So that's what I do with the online course. It's a 7-email course, and anybody can sign up for it on my website. And I think over 300 people have taken that course. Then I also hold my workshops. It's called the How to Invest workshops. So what I do is I bring in a panel of experts to explain some particular asset classes and portfolio and break it down in very practical terms, right? Because no theory is allowed. Tell us exactly what you've done, the mistakes you've made, so that's what I do in my workshops. I've had 3 workshops so far, 2 last year and 1 this year. So that's how I ready to, disseminate the information. And I also have plans to do a lot more in the coming years.
Wow, so much for someone so young. I keep saying that. I know you're older than me. It's fine. Let's pretend you are. Right. So, how do I find an investment club, and particularly, how do I find one to suit my needs the best?
Okay, so that's an interesting question, and I think when I started to teach people to start their own investment clubs. Oh. Then I started to get a lot of emails. Not everyone has friends they can start with. And I totally understand that, because I started the investment club with my classmates during my MBA. So we'd been together for 2 years. So it was very easy to start an investment club with them, because... And you
kind of trusted each other as well. It's very important.
And by the way, I'm the only female.
Oh, hey, pioneer.
Oh, yeah. So with 4 guys, a lot of, but I've learned to, hold my own tough. Right, but so I learned that, I realized that not everybody has the right people around. Yes. So I created other models of investment clubs. So you can just be in an accountability group. If you don't want to invest your money with other people, you can just, set investment goals and then hold yourselves accountable in that group. Then there's also the project-focused investment club. So for instance, all I want is real estate, right? I just want to own property. So what if I get into, a group of people that we're all focused on one asset class, and we all just pull our money together, and then we just start investing in real estate, and we own the property and that. So there are different models, right? So there's the original model, which is my model, financial model, and then there's the accountability model, where you don't pool your money, right? And then there's also the project-based model. So there's a model for everyone, right? It depends on you. You don't have to follow the model that I started with. So I created additional models just to suit people's personalities and their needs as well.
That's really laudable. Wow. So in terms of a person that's looking to start an investment club, what sort of structures would you say they had to put in place? All
right, so I have a framework that I teach, but there's a free ebook on my website, and what I always tell people to start with is think about 5 key things. The people. People are so important, right? Who are you starting with? And then also think about how much you can really contribute, because it has to be regular. I always say investing has to be a habit. It's not something you do and then leave off for the next 5 years. It has to be continuous, right? If you look at people on the Forbes list, they did it over 20, 23 years. That's how they became, billionaires and all that.
And it seems like a long time, but you would spend that time doing frivolous activities.
And it just goes by. Yeah, and time really goes by so fast. So why not, make the best of it? And then third thing, you have to be a legal entity, because when you're contributing money with people, you always have to, bend to the law and see how you can protect yourselves. Yeah. So,
well, I guess I'm not starting one anytime soon.
Oh, yeah. So even with friends, it can get a bit tricky. So I always say incorporate a company or something. There are different options for that. Right. Limited partnerships, limited liability company, pure partnerships, or even a cooperative as well. And then, incorporate, sign a legal agreement to protect yourself and all of that. And I think the 5th thing will be follow the money, right? Think about what exactly are you going to be investing in. Are you going to be investing in a particular asset class? Is it just real estate, or you want to do everything? Are you going to be taking risks, investing in small businesses? That's very long term. So that's very important as well. So I said people, think about people you're starting with. Second thing would be a legal entity as much as you can. Think about how much you're going to contribute. Follow the money. That's very important as well.
Follow the money, honey.
Follow the money. Follow the money.
For those of my viewers that want to get in touch with you, want to go on your website and get your free ebook, sign up for your online courses, how can they do so via social media?
Very easy. So I'm Tomie Balogun, and that's Tomie Balogun. So my Tomie has an E, very different. And then my website is also www.tomiebalogun.com. So just go online, sign up, and it's free for now, right?
For now. So when are we looking at incorporating money into that?
Oh, well, yeah, but you know, when you sign on the club, it's a process.
Right.
So you start learning, and then you can join an investment club, and then you can, you know, it's a process. Don't worry, I'll take you through the process once you sign up.
I love that. So we're signing up ASAP.
Oh, yeah.
Before you give us a membership fee.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff. Thank you so much for joining us, Tomie.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to see you later on the show. We're discussing women in leadership in Africa.
Yeah.
Excited?
Oh, yeah. I'm always excited to talk about that.
That is all from the tenacious Tomie for now, as it's time for a short break on the morning show. Stay tuned, as when we return, I'll be speaking with Mrs. Yemi Siwada about it all. You don't want to miss this. Don't go away.